Meghan Markle has tried her best to hide some secrets from the world. Unfortunately for her, she forgot to cover her tracks. The ninth secret is the most shocking, so stay with me till the end as we uncover them all. When Meghan announced that she was leaving acting to focus on her royal duties, many applauded her decision, but the truth was, royalty was her only escape route. Reports revealed that she was already blacklisted in Hollywood and struggling to land roles despite her best efforts. Insiders said her networking attempts were questionable and unfruitful.
His wife, because the one thing that she wants in terms of a place that she believes that she belongs to, namely Hollywood, has not only roundly rejected her, she doesn't get invited to anything because people don't like her and can't trust her, but more than that, they're now turning and laughing at her. She is an object of ridicule.
Becoming royal wasn't a noble decision, it was survival. Before the royal titles and tiaras, Meghan's resume wasn't exactly palace approved. Rumors from her early Hollywood days claim she spent time on luxury yachts and exclusive trips arranged through her Soho House connections, the same circles where rising models and actresses were networking their way into roles. Sources say these weren't just vacations, but casting couch-style events disguised as parties for producers and financiers. Meghan's name allegedly floated among guest lists tied to high-profile moguls and shady middlemen. For years, Meghan's played the "I had no idea who Prince Harry was" card, but the receipts say otherwise. Long before that blind date, teenage Meghan posed right in front of Buckingham Palace, grinning like a fan who already knew where she wanted to end up.
I didn't know much about him, and so the only thing that I had asked her when she said she wanted to set us up was, I had one question. I said, well, is he nice? Because if he wasn't kind, it didn't seem like it would make sense, and so.
Friends from her school days even spilled that her bedroom walls had posters of Princess Diana and that she kept a well-thumbed Diana biography by her bedside. Add to that her obsession with British culture, she reportedly told her friends she wanted to marry a famous Englishman. By the time she met Harry, she was already deep in the Soho House scene, surrounded by people who knew the prince personally. So, when Meghan said she never Googled him, please. She didn't need to. She'd already been studying the royal playbook for years. Meghan really didn't want this one getting out. Turns out her mom's image wasn't so squeaky clean after all. Doria Ragland, Meghan's yoga-loving, free-spirited mother, reportedly disappeared for more than 10 years. Some believe that she spent time behind bars. There are records of her showing up in court 2 different times during the time she disappeared. And isn't it funny how the press that digs into everything royal suddenly went silent on this? Almost like someone made a few calls. Meghan has always painted Doria as the calm saint among chaos, but insiders claim there's way more to the story. Tom Bower, a barrister and also a biographer with an excellent pedigree, laid out in front of everyone.
On this point, you really got to remind people that his mother-in-law, Doria, when she met Meghan's father, was in fact a drug dealer. And one of the things, which all detailed in my book, it's legally safe, don't worry. And one of the reasons that Thomas and Doria broke up was not only her very, very heavy drug use, but also she was selling it. And then, of course, she disappears for 10 years from Meghan's life, effectively. Legally, I can't tell you why. But there's no doubt that drugs played a big part in her life.
Ever since those bump photos hit the internet, people have been whispering that something just didn't add up. The belly seemed to change size overnight. She was bending, squatting, and hugging with zero caution, things that made even mothers watching go, wait, what? Critics claimed her bump looked like a moon bump, a prosthetic often used in films.
What the hell is in that bump? Half of Wembley Stadium? Like, what is it? I don't know. I'm looking at that and I'm like, what? how many babies did she have? It doesn't, to me, actually, I never bought into the conspiracy theory that she was never pregnant. But looking at that, I'm beginning to think that's some fat suit she's borrowed from Hollywood. It just doesn't look normal, does it? But I mean, look, she just wants to be a Kardashian, doesn't she? She just wants to be famous in any way possible. She wasn't a particularly good actress.
The palace never addressed the chatter, but eagle-eyed fans noticed how Meghan gave birth in total secrecy. Meghan and Harry refused to reveal the medical team or location, which only adds to the mystery.
Meghan is slut dropping there with her bump because she's so concerned about the fact that many people have got wise to the fact that it's probably not real.
That's so sad, isn't it? The first thing I thought when I saw it is, oh, she's trying to prove that she was pregnant, because there have been all these rumors for so long that she didn't actually give birth to those children. But it didn't even look like she was truly pregnant in the video. It was weird. The ball that she was holding while she was dancing. I've not seen any pregnant woman dancing in that way.
It was discovered that Meghan has a habit of borrowing other people's ideas and making them her own without giving credit. The most recent example is her Netflix show With Love, Meghan, which many people said looked almost identical to Pamela Anderson's Pamela's Cooking with Love. From the title to the country kitchen setup and even the soft, nature-inspired theme, everything felt copied. Fans online quickly called her out, saying she simply rebranded Pamela's idea to fit her image. Though Pamela herself brushed it off, people still believe Meghan took inspiration without acknowledgement, proving once again that originality is not really her strongest suit.
Copycat Meghan Markle is facing another humiliation after it emerged that she has ripped off Pamela Anderson's cooking series in plain sight.
She has messed about, hasn't she? It's obvious that she's stolen it.
Breaking right now. Puff, copycat, whatever you want to call it, Meghan Markle is at it again. But can you believe she's been so revolting to actually do this to Pamela Anderson, someone who is very high profile in Hollywood, has reinvented herself and actually came up with an original idea?
The real reason behind the lavish baby shower, it had nothing to do with celebrating Archie. It was a calculated PR move. Royal critics said that this had nothing to do with tradition. The royal family told her not to do it, but Meghan wanted a full-blown brand launch moment. But here's the twist. Most of her guests conveniently had product launches or brand promos right after the event. Serena Williams dropped her fashion line, Misha Nono relaunched her clothing brand, and Amal Clooney made major headlines for her foundation. Even Abigail Spencer slipped in some subtle TV promotion. So yeah, call it a baby shower if you want, but to everyone watching, it looked like a coordinated marketing festival. When Meghan first burst onto the royal scene, she sold the perfect fairy tale, just a girl raised by her loving mom. But that version left out an entire side of her family. Meghan carefully kept her father, Thomas Markle, and half-sister Samantha out of the picture, acting as if they barely existed. She painted herself as the daughter of a struggling single mom, but her dad insists he paid for her private schooling and early acting dreams. Then, just before the royal wedding, everything unraveled. Thomas started talking to the press, and Meghan cut him off completely. Samantha fired back, accusing Meghan of pretending to be an only child and rewriting her past. Even Meghan's own letters to her father, later revealed in court, showed a lot more communication than she admitted. Meghan acts very politely in front of the camera and tries to hide how she really treats people. Several private jet attendants have shared stories of Meghan's rude and demanding behavior. She allegedly ignored her son Archie during flights, snapped at crew members, and treated staff poorly whenever Harry wasn't around. She tried to hide her true behavior from Harry as well. But behind the glamorous smile, insiders describe diva-like conduct that shocked those who worked around her.
This British Airways staff member insisted to me that it was very obvious to her that there was zero connection between mother and child. What was so fascinating too is that Meghan Markle was only polite to the staff on board that flight when Prince Harry was around. The staff member told me that when Harry was not in direct earshot or in the vicinity, she was like a different person.
After bagging the multi-million-dollar Spotify deal, Meghan was overjoyed. But just after the first episode of the Archetypes podcast, the show was suddenly canceled. Everyone wondered what went wrong until it was discovered that instead of doing the hard work herself, Meghan had been delegating interviews to her staff. Reports revealed that producers and crew members often conducted interviews on her behalf. She only showed up for celebrity guests to keep herself in the spotlight, but when it came to academics or scholars, she handed it off.
Well, the other thing is that she apparently doesn't interview many of the people. She's believed not to even have interviewed the Canadian Prime Minister's wife. She can't be bothered with that, you see.
She tried to hide this by splicing recordings to make it seem like she personally engaged each guest, but critics quickly noticed. The podcast was slammed for being inauthentic and overly staged, lacking genuine interaction. No wonder Spotify pulled the plug early. This is what happens when deception becomes your brand. Meghan's separation from her first husband, Trevor Engelson, was conveniently erased from public view during her engagement to Prince Harry. But media archives later uncovered details dating back to September 2012. It was clear that this information was deliberately scrubbed after her royal engagement. Observers believe this was part of a broader effort by her PR firm to sanitize her past and polish her public image. Meghan has always spoken publicly about the dangers of social media and its impact on young people, yet she constantly posts her own children online.
I feel fortunate that our children are at an age, again, quite young, so this isn't in our immediate future. But I also feel frightened by how it's continuing to change, and this will be in front of us. As they say, being a parent, the days are long, but the years are short.
Critics notice that her posts often coincide with product launches or brand moments, suggesting she uses her children to drive emotional engagement for commercial purposes. Every time she preaches privacy, she turns around and uses her family to sell an image. Harry recently found out, and he was reportedly upset with her.
So Meghan Markle, she decided to post pictures of her kids on set with her for the Netflix show, I guess to try and drum up attention. So now there are all these articles in People Magazine and Us Weekly. Everybody's writing about the fact that her kids were on set. They visited her on set. If her show was doing well, if her show was not number 1 billion on the Netflix charts, she wouldn't have to use these kids for attention. But this is what she does, right? This is why she wanted to marry a prince. This is why she rushed to have kids. This is why she rushed to have another kid.
Now, this one's straight out of Meghan's PR playbook. Ever notice how every candid photo of Meghan and Harry feels perfectly staged but never quite complete? That's not an accident. Insiders claim Meghan has been holding back full, high-resolution images from key life moments like Archie's birth, her secret baby shower, and even private royal events. Just waiting for the right multi-million-dollar offer. Think of it as her digital gold mine. The woman knows her value, and she's playing the long game. Even streaming platforms have allegedly approached her for exclusive visuals, and she's said to have turned them down for now. Because when the timing's right and the price is high enough, Meghan's camera roll could become the most profitable royal archive ever. Meghan tried to tell the world that so many of her employees quit due to a shift in brand, but the truth is something else entirely. According to reports from The Hollywood Reporter and Insider Leaks, at least a dozen employees have left Archewell since 2020. Staff described the workplace as stressful, with Meghan allegedly micromanaging and breaking promises. There have also been some allegations about workplace bullying. After publicly preaching about teamwork and kindness, Meghan's own organization tells a different story.
Actually, they've lost their head of communications for Archewell, and her name was Christine. She was very highly regarded. She previously worked for Apple, so definitely one of their big hires that they took on in 2021, and unfortunately it didn't work out. She's handed in her notice. It was actually happened a few months ago, but it's only come out now. So I think that's quite interesting. I don't know if that was a mutual decision to keep it quiet, but certainly it does not look good for Meghan and Harry. I mean, they have this reputation of burning through staff members. So, you know,
There's
once
another
again,
one.
Reports claim Meghan cut ties with her longtime friend Jessica Mulroney in 2020 over a racism controversy involving Jessica's husband.
Meghan and Jessica seemingly had a falling out back in 2020. The two were super close friends during Meghan's stint in Canada and remained close, reportedly up until the stylist was involved in a racism scandal.
But insiders say that wasn't the truth. The real reason, according to sources, was jealousy. Meghan reportedly distanced herself because Jessica was gaining too much attention. Their fallout was described as bitter, with rumors that Jessica might one day release a tell-all about Meghan's pre-royal secrets. There you have it, 15 secrets Meghan Markle tried to hide from the public, but now you know them all. Which of these secrets shocked you the most? Let me know in the comments section, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next video.